What's up, guys, and welcome to another awesome episode of Natalie's Reptile Room. This is your host, Natalie. I'm Kevin, and this is Lamb Chop, and this is a donut.
Yeah.
Your donut?
And that's Daddy's shirt.
That's my shirt.
And he been looking at it.
And we have our special guest Lamb Chop here for a good reason. So if you guys remember, every Wednesday we usually do the top 10 coolest reptiles of different countries, remember?
Yeah.
But 2 weeks ago we started our new series, the coolest prehistoric reptiles. And do you remember which one we did 2 weeks ago?
No.
It was the biggest snake to ever exist, the Titanoboa. And you can watch that Titanoboa video right here.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Titanoboa outside? Yeah, you wish. There's some snakes that get pretty close. A couple of them. Last week, oh, where you going, buddy? So last week was a giant snake. This week is a giant monitor lizard, the Megalania. So check this guy out.
Yes.
Look at some of those pictures, because this thing is massive.
Oh my gosh, look at this one.
Oh yeah, look at the skeleton of it. Really cool. So the Megalania is actually the common unofficial name for this giant lizard. The real name for it is Varanus priscus. Varanus being the genus that includes all monitor lizards, including the savanna monitor.
Yeah.
So today we know of the Komodo Dragon as the largest living lizard. You remember when we did the Komodo Dragon in our last week's top 10 coolest reptiles? Remember he was number one? Which one was that? Indonesia. Remember
Indonesia.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
He was massive, massive lizards. The Megalania may have punied the Komodo Dragon, which means punied him, made him small compared to this thing. Now, the reason we say may have punied the Komodo Dragon is because a full skeleton of the Megalania has never been found. Like for prehistoric dinosaurs and stuff like that, they have to find a full skeleton to put it together of what they think it looked like. But they've never found an entire skeleton. But maybe you'll be the paleontologist that finds it one day, the whole thing.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Are huge and they're massive.
Massive.
And they are even the size of him.
And that kind of gives it away with mega in its name, right?
Yeah.
Mega usually means something pretty darn big.
Yeah. And guys, if they can eat anything, they can eat a whole person.
We'll wait until we get into what they think it ate. It's kind of upsetting, because I like the animal they ate. So scientists have a pretty good idea of just how big this lizard got. However, there's like a really big range that scientists have put them at. Like some scientists said they were only this big, some scientists said that they were actually this big. But on the small side of things, they put them at 11.5 feet to 3.5 meters. And then larger estimates putting them as up to 26 feet, which is 7.9 meters. That is huge. That is massive. Yeah. Way bigger than a car.
Yeah.
You think something as big as our car could eat us? I think so.
Well, look how square his mouth is.
Oh yeah, he'd be lucky to even fit one of my fingers in his mouth. This thing was pretty much just a giant version of him. A giant. But he is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's a like living dinosaur.
Yeah, but his mouth isn't even big as his.
Yeah, but either way, either of those estimates would have put it at the largest living terrestrial lizard that has ever existed. And I mean, that's saying something when you're bigger than like the Komodo Dragon and the Croc Monitor. You gotta be pretty big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first fossils of this giant lizard were found all the way back in 1859. We weren't around. Daddy wasn't even around back then. But could
Was
you...
I even around?
No, you weren't even around. Could you imagine going in our backyard and digging in our backyard and finding a giant dinosaur bone?
Yeah.
Or like one of those things' ribs?
Yeah.
You would come in, Dad, I found something.
Yeah.
And then we'd be rich.
Actually, Daddy,
What?
if I went outside with Bella and we were driving and we saw a massive whole thing of that in the woods, I would have been like, Daddy!
There's a giant lizard. And then hopefully it doesn't eat us.
And what would you say?
Kind of like the Titanobella.
Yeah, but Daddy, what would you say?
I would say, let's get out of here. And I'd punch the gas and we'd run. Sure you don't let him eat your donut? I don't think he would even try to eat your donut.
Yeah.
The Megalania was this giant lizard and it inhabited Australia. You remember when we did like the top 10 coolest reptiles of Australia?
Yeah.
With the frilled dragon and all of that?
Yeah.
I mean, they have some awesome reptiles in Australia, and this just proves to be another one that used to inhabit it, but they haven't inhabited it for almost 2.5 million years ago, which is a long time ago, way before we were around. But scientists may have also thought that they actually didn't go extinct until about 40 or 50,000 years ago, which in the grand scheme of things wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Not too long ago. So not only the Komodo dragon, but the Megalania was also closely related to another giant lizard that lives in Australia today, the Perenti. How bad do you want to visit Australia and eventually find a giant monitor lizard like a Perenti?
I do not want to go there.
You do not want to find one? I would, just to see them. The Perenti is actually today the largest living monitor in Australia. It's actually the third largest monitor lizard in the entire world today. But could you imagine us having, I mean, ours is going to get pretty close. The Nile monitor, he's going to get pretty big. We're going to put him on a leash and take him for some walks, and
Yeah.
I can't wait till he gets a little bigger.
Yeah.
Him and this guy.
Yeah.
He's not going to get as big as the Nile monitor, but he's still going to get pretty big. Also, the Perenti, just like the Komodo dragon, was venomous. Kind of like the mangrove monitor, which is venomous. Which brings us into our next super cool point. So between the Megalania being closely related to the Komodo dragon, the Perenti, other venomous lizards of Australia and Indonesia, scientists feel that it is actually more likely that the Megalania was actually venomous rather than not venomous.
Yeah.
So we're talking a giant lizard bigger than a car that's also venomous.
Yeah.
So could you imagine getting bit by something that big and getting pumped full of venom?
No.
We want to make it.
Uh-uh.
And if scientists are correct and they actually were venomous, that would actually make it the largest living venomous creature that has ever existed. The biggest one. So like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane to think about.
Yeah.
So what do you think a lizard that giant ate?
You tell me.
I tell you, okay. So I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but Diprotodon was one of the ones that scientists feel that they ate, which is like a giant wombat. Have you ever seen a wombat?
No.
I'll have to show you a picture of a wombat. They're pretty cool. Pretty cute too.
So you aren't surprised that he ate that?
A lizard that big?
Yeah.
I mean, I could see them eating a lot of big stuff. Don't you?
Yeah, but Daddy,
What?
why would he eat that?
It's because they had to eat something. What else would they eat?
A parrot or a fish? Nemo?
Nemo? I hope not. Nemo is cute. The other thing they feel that it ate on was, and I'm really gonna probably mispronounce this, Procoptodon, which, oh, bless you. Bless you. Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
But this was like basically a giant prehistoric kangaroo. And I like kangaroos. I don't want to see them getting eaten.
Yeah.
But this thing was like a giant version of a kangaroo. Do you like kangaroos?
Yeah.
You've seen kangaroos before. I remember they had one at a farm not too long ago. Now, given their giant size, they may have had trouble like chasing down live prey because something that big was probably pretty slow. So they were either like ambush predators, like they would ambush their prey and attack it, or they feel that more like the Komodo dragon, they were scavengers, where they would eat the remains of like dead animals.
Wow.
Gross.
Would they eat the parrots?
Probably.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so that does it for our video on the Megalania. We hope you guys enjoyed this. If you found it informative or interesting, make sure to leave us a like. And next week, we're going to be getting back into our top 10 of different countries, remember?
Yeah.
And those are always cool. And then we will see you guys on
Monday?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday. Bye guys.
Bye.